Ontario opposition leader Marit Stiles says the province's housing minister needs to resign.
We need to call it what it is: corruption.
It's a call that's grown louder after the findings of yet another report looking into the province's controversial changes to the protected area around Toronto. Ontario's Integrity Commissioner says Housing Minister Steve Clark violated ethics rules when protected lands were removed for housing development.
At best, what we see here is gross incompetence, but at worst, it's corruption and it's colluding with developers.
The report says Clark failed to properly oversee the process, leading to the private interests of certain developers seeping into the project. It may seem incredible that Minister Clark would have chosen to stick his head in the sand on such an important initiative being undertaken by his ministry, wrote the commissioner, but I believe that was exactly what he did.
This selection exercise...
This comes weeks after Ontario's Auditor General released another scathing report that found a small group of well-connected people heavily influenced the government's process for choosing protected Greenbelt land to develop and stand to gain billions.
There's a lot of transparency that we're getting through these reports, which is great, but ultimately probably not great for the government.
The housing minister's chief of staff has already resigned, and the RCMP are looking into whether there are grounds for a criminal investigation. Premier Doug Ford maintains that developing portions of the Greenbelt will help tackle Ontario's housing crisis.
At the end of the day, it's results. We can talk and talk and talk.
The Premier says his housing minister will keep his job despite the recommendation from the Ethics Commissioner that he be reprimanded. Hours after this latest report, the province announced it was reversing plans to develop 2 parcels of Greenbelt land east of Toronto, after it was revealed those lands slated for housing development had actually been listed for sale. Idil Musa, CBC News, Toronto.